Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jai Shri Radha. Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Nitai Sachinandana Nitanandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Jai Hari Hari Bol. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiyata Namane. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pashtataya Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Nitai Sachidananda Dev Ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you all for coming for our Sunday feast. It's nice to see all of you. Looks like the cows are having a transcendental party on the altar, huh? And Krishna Balaram are herding them into the transcendental space. How many, I think everybody I'm seeing has been here before. You've been here, right, before? If you scoot over this way, you'll be able to see the slide maybe a little bit better. So, nobody's biting right now. We'll save that for the prasadam time. Thank you. My name is Jaisacinandana, and this is for me a marathon weekend. Busy at work and busy with interacting with devotees in Krishna consciousness. So I'm very happy. So I wanted to talk about how many of you have been practicing bhakti in one form or another? You want to raise your hands? How many of you, this doesn't mean necessarily at the world's peak, just something like chanting, hearing, reading, having darshan of deities, honoring prasadam. How many of you have been doing that? Okay. Okay. You haven't? Okay. Okay. How many of you have been doing it for 10 plus years? You have. 10 plus years? Okay. Yes. Cool. How many of you have been doing it for 5 plus years? Sarva Shakti Mataji? No? How many of you have been doing it for 1 year? I should see everybody's hands. How many of you have been doing it for 1 month? Perfect. How many of you have been doing it for 1 day? Everybody can raise their hand. They're the temple. The fruit is getting lower in the tree. So I wanted to talk about something that I think is very important. I'll get to the shastric basis of it later on, but I want to really explore the practical aspect of doing bhakti. Doing bhakti. It's like, I'm going to do something, I'm going to go shopping. I remember asking my Guru Maharaj one time when he was at our home, I'm going to the grocery store, is there something that you would like? He said, yes, bring me back a pound of bhakti with you. So it doesn't work that way. The title here is externally engaged, but not internally spaced. Right, Tulsi? Sorry, I didn't call you by your name. Externally engaged, but internally absorbed. And I was inspired by a lecture I heard maybe 15 years ago by Gauranga Prabhu from Chaupati. And I was inspired by that and then things that I heard and read from other senior devotees, throughout the world. So it's no one devotee, but Gauranga Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, Hariprasad Prabhu, etc. Srila Prabhupada, obviously. So how to be internally absorbed and externally engaged, right? How to be internally absorbed and externally engaged. This is the life of a sadhaka, correct? Using our senses in the service of Guru and Sri Krishna. Even though we don't have the spontaneous taste in the beginning, this is called sadhana bhakti. So as we progress in sadhana bhakti, doing bhakti is commonly sadhana bhakti. Bhakti in practice. So as we progress in this, we need to, the nature is to be introspective. Introspect. How long will the activities of our devotional service be in a mechanical mode? How long will we be chanting japa? How long will we be chanting japa in a mechanical mode? This is my right brain, this is my left brain. My left brain has doctor's notes, so doctor's notes, even doctors have tough times sometimes. That's why we now have to enter it by hand into computers. Unfortunately, I took drafting in high school because I thought that's what the cool guys do. And the keyboarding was what the ladies did. I said, I don't want to do that. It's like, that was stupid. Should have done that. So how long are we going to be doing mechanical chanting? How long are we going to be doing mechanical hearing? How long are we going to be doing activities of bhakti? Right? As we become more senior, not in age, but in our bhakti, we should get more, our absorption in bhakti should increase. After some time, there should be, like devotees are introspective, so they can say, like I remember my Guru Maharaj asking about a Hari Prabhu after Kirtan retreat, and they do a 64 round day where they chant 16 rounds. And yes, Prabhupada Maharaj asked, Hari Prabhuji, how was your chanting today? He said, dry as piece of coal. It's coming from Hari Prabhu. Prabhupada Swami says he's like a gulab jamun. You cannot touch him without a squirt of some tasty nectar coming out of him. So he's saying that, how long are we going to accept mediocrity in chanting and in hearing and in reading, right? In sadhana bhakti, our senses are engaged, but the mind might not be so engaged, correct? Our senses are engaged. We're moving our fingers through the bead bag, our ears trying to hear, but our mind is not necessarily equally engaged. Now, the lecture here, the discussion is about externally engaged and internally absorbed. So just remember that. That's a litmus test. My senses are engaged, but is my mind also engaged? And so as we progress in bhakti, our mind should become more absorbed. So I'm going to share some verses from Bhagavad Gita. And to keep it simple, it's not a morning Bhagavatam class or a deep dive into Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10 or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but I will show some. I have gone kind of crazy with color spectrum, but successive stages of bhakti, from the highest to the lowest. So this is in chapter 12 of Gita. I remember in 1978 when I received Gita, my uncle highlighted this chapter. He said, read this chapter and focus on it. So Krishna describes what is some people call, thank you Mataji, Krishna describes something that some devotees call the ladder of love. The ladder of love. Hare Krishna, Dha Krishna Prabhu, Sarah. So Krishna describes this, some devotees like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu likes to call this the ladder of love. So I know this might be a little bit small font for those of you in the back, but just listen with your heart. So he says, in verse 12.8, he says, Krishna Prabhu, we're speaking, Sarah Mataji, we're speaking on being externally engaged but internally absorbed. We all know what that is like. So the verse is split into two parts. First part, Krishna says, fix your mind on me exclusively. Mayeva mana adatsva. By how? By remembering me always. And Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur calls this smarana atmika bhakti. This is describing a devotee who's actually developed an attachment for Krishna. So fixing your mind on me exclusively means attachment for Krishna. You're connecting to Krishna through your emotions and your feelings. You're having emotional bonding with Krishna. I remember one time when I first moved into our home in 2002, the person who, the company that was issuing us the mortgage loan called me, and I have a fairly busy work life. And I happened to be home that day, and I was with my daughter Arpana, and this mortgage loan person called me, and I said, he said, I need to talk to you. I said, can you call me back? I'm having a bonding time with my daughter. He goes, and he says cynically, he goes, yeah, I'll call you back. You're just bonding with your daughter. So this is our emotional bonding with Krishna. And Krishna Bhagavan is so kind. He says, if you can't do that, then fix your intelligence on me. Mai buddhim niveshya. By contemplating me, based on scriptural directions. Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur calls this mananan atmika bhakti. This is also describing somebody who's developed an attachment for Krishna at a different level. He said the result will be you will always live with me, always without a doubt. So what he's saying in part A is engage your mind in me. Develop a bond, emotional bond with me. And what he's saying in this is, if you can't do that, then use your buddhi intelligence in understanding, Bhagwan and the tattva of Krishna tattva, his divinity, his glory, and his sweetness. And he said, with this understanding, try to serve me. But part A, fix your mind on me exclusively, is greater than part B. The emotional bond is greater than the intelligence. The emotional connection is more important than the intellectual conviction. Do you understand? So the first is an emotional connection. The second is intellectual conviction on Krishna's divinity, his greatness, his sweetness, etc. Okay? So that's step one. Then step two, is if you can't do that, Bhagavan says, try to fix, if you can't do that, if you can't fix your mind upon me without deviation, then endeavor to fix the mind on me. That's called abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice. By following the regulative principles of bhakti, which are called sadhana bhakti. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur calls this abhyasa rupa bhakti. Our mind doesn't have a natural intelligence. Our mind doesn't have an emotional connection. Our intelligence doesn't have an intellectual conviction. So the mind is going here and there, so is the intelligence going here and there. And he says, in this way, work for me. Engage your senses and develop a desire, for me. So these types of bhakti are basically performing internally. Okay? So engage your activities, your body in physical service, cleaning the temple of the Lord, brooming the temple of the Lord, etc. So those instructions, 12.8, 12.9, are on the internal level of mind, intelligence, etc. 12.10 is bhakti with external senses. If you cannot practice sadhana bhakti, chanting, hearing, etc., reading, then just try to perform your activities for my pleasure, though your mind is not on me. So here, there's a distinction that unlike the previous levels of bhakti, where this type of devotee is engaging the body in service, but not necessarily having emotional bonding with Krishna or, an intellectual conviction of Krishna. But eventually that emotional connection and intellectual conviction will arise. I'm using these two terms repeatedly. Emotional connection, intellectual conviction. Krishna promises this. He says, thus you will attain perfection. And Srila Prabhupada says, work for Krishna includes offering charity to build temples, publish books. By doing such work, even without remembering Krishna, one can attain perfection. He continues to say, in this material existence, I may be engaged in some service to some master, but I don't really lovingly serve my master, meaning I don't have emotional connection. But a voluntary work for Krishna's satisfaction, he says, is a spiritual activity. Because eventually emotional connection and intellectual conviction will arise. Are there examples of this in our Shastra which show that this is indeed the case? Yes, some of you are reading chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita or have read it. Krishna says to regulate the senses and the mind will be very difficult. The mind, he says, will be very difficult to control. So what does he say? Regulate the senses first. And by regulating senses, watch what you hear, watch what you see, watch those. Stay away from those things that are unfavorable for your development, your holistic development. And then he says, mind will come under the control. So it's an inverted example of what Krishna is saying here. Right? There he's saying, engage your senses, control your senses, your mind will come under control. But here, it's a different hierarchy here. So what comes first in devotional service? Devotion or service? Yeah, so it should be service, devotion. The order is reversed. It's service. Okay. That's one example where Shri Krishna Bhagavan tells Arjuna, control your senses and their mind will be controlled. And then again, how many have read Srimad Bhagavatam or the first canto? Anybody? Some people? You haven't read Srimad Bhagavatam? Don't be shy. Okay, some devotees have read Srimad Bhagavatam. Rasraj, have you read Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1? I saw your hand raised. You're reading. So, Sri Sutta Goswami gives a list of steps. We call it from Shraddha to Prem, is the usual statement. Right? From Shraddha to Prem. More and more advanced connection with Krishna. So what's the first step? What's the first step called in that journey of a sadhaka? It's called Shraddha, right? So Sutta Goswami says Shraddha. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says actually two things come before Shraddha. What is that? What's the first? Right. Satam Kripa. And then? Mahatseva. Good. So see the example here? Mahatseva before Shraddha, Bhajana Kriya, Narada Nivritti, etc. Right? So he says that. He goes, Satam Kripa. Satam means one who's fixed in absolute truth, which is sadhu. So that's another example. He's saying, start by doing service and then develop your intellectual conviction and your emotional connection with Krishna. Right? So, why? Because the sadhu will show you some mercy, Satatam Kripa, and by Mahatseva, we'll develop some faith in the process as a path of the service. Our faith will come as intellectual conviction and emotional connection. So externally, we need engagement. But just physical engagement in Krishna's service is not sufficient. We have to, as serious devotees, we have to make that statement. That yes, we need external physical engagement, but that's not going to be sufficient. We can't stop there. We have to develop internal absorption. External engagement, internal absorption. I'll show you an example of this. Call it the Bhajan Buddha Bhava sequence, the 3 B's. I was reading today in New York Times that actually in 2015 there was a poll saying that religion is becoming really unpopular in the US. People don't want to belong to something. But they're saying since the pandemic and everything, the turbulence in the world, this 3 B's have become important. Belief, behavior, and belonging is the way they call it. But I believe it's Bhajan Buddha Bhava, according to Sri Krishna. There's a very famous verse called, what is this verse called? The Chatur Shloki. Aham sarvasa prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam Buddha Bhava samyutta. I'm trying to show you evidence from Shastra proving that this sequence is holistic, is natural sequence. I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Right, right. So understanding Krishna's greatness, right? And then rendering what? Bhajan. So some service. Bhajan means service in this kind. Understanding Krishna's greatness, may not totally understand, but render me service. Jaisacinandana Dev ki jai. Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, bhajan. Do some service. Buddha. So see, bhajan comes first. Buddha comes next. Engage your intelligence also in my service. Don't just do physical service of bhajan, but do engage your intelligence in that service as well. And then what comes next? Bhava. What's bhav? Connect with me through emotional connection. You see the proof? Bhuda bhava, Bhuda bhajan bhav. So seva with proper philosophical understanding of Krishna Tattva and emotional bonding with Krishna are all required. It's not an either-or phenomenon. All three are required. Yes. We need to connect on the bodily platform. That connection is called seva. We need to connect on the bodily platform. That is seva. Right? Tulsi sang a nice bhajan, Narad Muni Bhaja Vina. That requires moving your hand, pumping the keys, making sound from your tongue, right? Hearing with your ears. It requires your senses, correct? So we need to connect on a bodily platform with these principles of sadhana bhakti, hearing, chanting, reading, etc. But we should also connect to Krishna, so that's the bhajan. But we should also connect to Swami Bhagavan Krishna through our buddhi, our intelligence, by studying scripture or shastra. That's required. And not only 1 and 2, but 3. We should develop emotional connection to Krishna through the mind. The mental level. There's the physical level, there's the intellectual level, and there's the mental level. Now the mind, manas, can be used to explain, has multiple different explanations, and we can get into that later. But I just want us to appreciate that we have to go from external engagement to internal connection. And that occurs through bhajan, buddhi, and bhav. Is that clear so far? Are you guys connecting? You're present? Okay. At the beginning stage of bhakti, physical service is more prominent, right? But advanced stage, emotional connection becomes more prominent. It doesn't mean at advanced stage somebody's a guru or acharya that they're not engaging in physical seva. They are. But at the beginning stage of bhakti, physical service is more prominent. So when you're starting and somebody, saying, hey, maybe chant on the beads, open the book and read, hear a lecture, you need that. Clean the temple, we need that. We need that, right? At advanced stage, the devotees also doing service, but this is very important. This was after meditating on these verses and hearing from other senior devotees. A good takeaway from this is at an advanced stage, devotees are doing service. But their service is an expression of their emotional connection with Krishna. Right? Their service is an expression of their emotional connection with Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's the pure devotee, you can look at his life and see that. In our early stage, it's reverse. Service is an opportunity to develop the love and connection with Krishna. At advanced stage, it's top down. At the beginning stage is bottom up. We're trying to develop our love from Krishna. At the advanced stage, our expression of our love comes out in our seva. And that's why it's so powerful at that level. Making sense? This is practical. So we need to come from the stage of engaging our senses in Sri Krishna's service to emotional connection with Sri Krishna. And with that, things will progress nicely. And as I said at the beginning, this is the journey of a sadhaka in bhakti. It's called the journey from Shraddha to Prem. Our connection should not stop. This is an important point. Our connection should not pause with just sense engagement. It requires more. And Krishna encourages that. Why does Arjuna say it then? Nasta mohan smriti labdha. Krishashi vachanam tvam. My memory is regained. My illusion is gone. I'm prepared to carry out your action. Carrying out action is seva. Memory, illusion, that's internal. Okay? So we shouldn't get stuck just at sense engagement. Yes, that's required. So what's a practical example? When we read Shastra, there's a reading of shloka, right? And then there's reading in between the lines of the shloka. It's like if your loved one sends you a message, you see the message, but in between, what are you seeing? You're seeing the emotional connection with that person that you love. So, how can we connect that statement with our life in an emotion, with our emotion? How can we connect that one sentence with an emotion in our life? That's called Shastra Chakshus. When you read a prayer of Kunti Maharani or Prahlad Maharaj, how can we imbibe that mood into our own life? That's connection. It goes beyond something like a seva, like your guru says, okay, you should read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, you should chant the holy name. But we should try to think what's left unspoken. Love is that thing that's often unspoken, especially in very spiritually advanced topics. It's very subtle. And when we imbibe that spirit and when you imbibe that emotional connection, then our preaching is not just giving a class or speaking to your friend at work. It's an expression of the compassion that we're feeling from the Shastra. And other souls will connect with this. Vaisheshika Prabhu, when I first went in book distribution seminar with him, this was, I think, in 2018, 2019. We were at Haight-Ashbury, a crazy place by any definition. He said, just like a dog can tell when you come towards its master with something not so good in mind, he said, don't think people are insensate. You trying to give them a book or talking about something in Shastra, they can tell, whether you're, walking the talk or just talking. They can sense. And you see that all the time in our lives. So, compassion should enter into that mood. Okay? So, we should not stay static in in saying, okay, I'm going to chant my rounds, I'm going to hear some lectures, read some books. We need to become internally absorbed. And Krishna is telling us that in so many places, and Bhagavatam is telling us, etc. So I've shown Shastric evidence through Bhagavad Gita, and now I'm going to kind of speak more philosophy, but the practical message is, if you're being asked to clean the temple, then think about the divinity of cleaning the temple. Absorb myself. In this life, I'm getting a chance to wash the temple of the Lord. How fortunate am I? How many lifetimes have I gone through before this could happen? In this lifetime, I have an opportunity to make some bhoga for the Lord. This is not my right. It's my great, merciful connection that some devotee has given me. I'm giving a lecture. Have I heard with a compassionate heart the message of that lecture from pure devotee? That way, what we do will be absorption. I'm taking a video of some event at the temple. While I'm taking the video, I'm appreciating the sweetness of the energy that's flowing between the people who are interacting, and I'm amazed at the depth of emotion that's coming out in this pastime of Krishna. We need to get to there. Srila Prabhupada said status quo does not work. You cannot just hover like a hovercraft in one space. You either have to move forward or backwards. That's the nature of the world. That's true in everything. A big, beautiful building goes up. If you don't maintain it, it's going to show some, dust stains and rust stains, etc. Right? So I want to go back and kind of go to a very important verse about this concept. So this is going to be more technical, but I think also beautiful. So this was the topic. So what exactly is sadhana bhakti? And the definition, this is repeated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Eastern Wave, 2nd chapter, verse 2. Tatra sadhana bhakti. Kirti sadhya bhavat sadhya bhavat sa sadhana abhideya. Nitya sadhasya bhavasya prakrityam hridaya sadhyata. So Sri Rupa Goswami says, now I will define sadhana bhakti. It is action of senses. Tulsi, what does that sound like to you? Bhajan, Buddha, Bhav. Bhajan. Seva, right? Bhavat sadhya. This is called sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti, Rupa Goswami is saying, has to produce bhav. And the only way that will do that is by intellectual conviction and emotional connection. And then he says something technical. He said, this is an eternal sthai bhav. So I don't want to get too deep. Sunday feast is meant for newcomers as well, not just devotees that have been practicing we have wonderful devotees that have been practicing longer than most of you are alive. So, so Sunday feast, Srila Prabhupada taught, is meant to be understandable at all levels. So I'll explore that more. So sadhana is a cause, and sadhya, you can take a photo of this if you want, because this is a very important verse that Jiva Goswami spends a lot of time explaining. So sadhana is the cause, and sadhya is the effect. So sadhana bhakti is the cause, and the effect, Tulsi, is, I'm just looking at Tulsi because she's here, and she's the closest to being the student. And the cause is, and the result is bhav, right? He includes bhav and prem together. Prem is prem is bhav that's condensed. So kriti is an action of the senses, and it can include the mental platform also. So kriti sadhya is that bhakti which is achieved through the senses, okay? I.e. sadhana bhakti. And sadhya bhava is that bhakti whose effect is bhav. So sadhana bhakti's effect is achieving bhav and prema. So combining these two phrases, you come up with sadhana bhakti is bhakti performed through the senses. Sadhana bhakti is also bhakti which results in bhav. So please remember the two are important requisite, not just one. Sadhana bhakti is bhakti performed through senses, but it is that which results in bhav. Krishna himself says that so many times. The Acharya said so. So sadhana requires, what's the difference? At the sadhana stage, it requires a conscious effort because it's not embedded on our nature. We don't have the intellectual conviction or the emotional bonding with Bhagavan and those that are dear to Bhagavan. So the bhakti is motivated primarily by our senses, not by inner disposition. When you're initiated and, Srila Prabhupada says, chant 16 rounds, that might not be our immediate internal disposition. So we'll do it out of motivation and a sense of duty and love for that person who's given us bhakti. Bhava is when bhakti becomes our very nature. That's called chitta. So chitta in Sankhya philosophy is a subconscious mind. When that emotional connection is such that it takes over our chitta, meaning it becomes our very nature for existence. Like somebody once said to Srila Prabhupada, so many challenges in this instituting this big movement of ISKCON throughout the world. So many challenges, so many headaches. And he said, what challenges? He said, I simply see opportunity to serve my spiritual master. So how's that? He's situated in bhav and prem. He's not a sadhana bhakta. It is his very nature. It is his heart. And it doesn't require conscious effort. Srila Prabhupada was one time, I don't know whether this was Shrutakriti or somebody else who was serving Srila Prabhupada. His great Shrutakriti Prabhu is a very empowered servant of Srila Prabhupada, as the two senior devotees sitting in the back are. So this devotee saw Srila Prabhupada at night time. He went in to check in on him, and he saw him kind of shaking in the bed. I said, Srila Prabhupada, are you okay? And Srila Prabhupada opened his eyes and looked at him and said, there must be conscious effort. That's all he said. Conscious effort equals sadhana bhakti. It's not innate, it's not in our chitta. Our chitta is where the samskaras from our past life reside. Subconscious mind is how some devotees, some senior devotees explain it. It's not up at the top. It's like a computer has a memory bank. And innumerable lives we've accumulated samskaras or swabhav, as Krishna also says. This is not swarup, different. Swabhav means impression from past life. We've accumulated innumerable impressions. Our memory is more than terabyte, right? I was just reading that since I did mathematical modeling of neurons when I was in college and in medical school, and I know how hard that was, they just did like a millimeter of some poor animal's brain, and that took gigabytes and terabytes and more computing power than any institution has. So multiple institutions had to come up to do that, just for 1 millimeter of somebody's brain. So you can imagine the amount of samskaras and swabhavs that are implanted in our subconscious chitta. somebody brings to you Tulsi neem ice cream, and your eyes see it, and the mind says, should I accept this or reject it? Mind is a binary operator. You guys are all IT experts. I'm not. I use the computer, but I'm not an expert. Mind says, should I accept it or reject it? Mind sends a proposal to the hard disk. And the chitta then subconsciously pattern matches it. Ice cream, yes. Sweet, yes. I like that. Neem, I've sometimes swallowed neem toothpaste by accident, and that wasn't so good. Sachinanda Maharaj calls this the neem treatment. So the chitta says, yeah, it's kind of looks sweet, but maybe not, and sends that to the buddhi, and the buddhi processes and it kind of intelligently discriminates, sends it back to the mind, closes the loop, saying, no. Oh, no thanks, I'm not going to have that neem ice cream. So, we have these samskaras, we just don't realize it. Our chitta is very deep. So most sadhana bhakti works not at the Atma level, it works at the Chitta level. Cleansing the mirror of the mind, that's Chitta. If you put these things together, sadhana bhakti will make a lot of sense, right? But it requires conscious effort. But that's nice, because we're engaging our buddhi in trying to understand how to approach Sri Krishna, how to develop that bhav. So the big question becomes, okay, I understand that sadhana bhakti is kriti sadhya. It's an activity of the senses. How does something material generate something spiritual, bhav? You can take a photo of this too. This is very important. How can something spiritual, bhav, come by something material, kriti? So then Sri Rupa Swami addresses it. Nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hirde sadhyata. What he's saying is bhakti eternally resides in a nitya siddha's heart. Why? Because of Sri Krishna Bhagwan's Sarup Shakti. It's his energy, it's his potency. That's why she's called Bhakti Devi. That's why Devi Sita represents Bhakti Devi. That's why Srimati Radharani is the dearmost object of affection for devotees, because she represents Bhakti. She is unadulterated, intense Bhakti. And she has the power to give that to everyone. So bhakti, and then there are the nitya siddhas, the associates of the Lord that are eternally perfect. So bhakti resides into that person's heart. The nitya siddha bhava, bhavasya, from whom we take instruction, Srila Prabhupada, gets transferred to our heart. It gets transferred from that nitya siddha's heart to our heart. Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, our Acharyas. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is not here physically, but his instruction is here. And he's concentrated Prem Bhakti, Acharya. So it will come from his heart into our heart. So Kriti Sadhya purpose is to purify the heart and to produce kripa, mercy from the Nitya Siddha, or Sri Krishna himself in rare instances. So the activity, the sadhana bhakti, by our material senses, it is to purify our understanding of who we are. Because if we don't know who we are, then how can we engage in sadhana bhakti? If I want to get to Mumbai and I don't even know where I'm starting, what sense will any path that I look in the computer make? It will make no sense, right? So we need the sadhana bhakti to purify our heart and start engaging our heart in having some connection intellectually and emotionally. Why? Because that will create, remember what we said? What was it? Satam Kripa Mahat Seva, right? Prelude to Shraddha to Prem journey. So that will produce Kripa from the Nitya Siddha or Sri Krishna. Why? Because they will see that we're sincerely trying. Sorry, I'm getting a message from a devotee, but I'll just wait. Now, in the Shastras do explain when you explore Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu more deeply that there are some examples of somebody like, for example, Gajendra Muksha, right? The elephant Gajendra who's got like a big problem, right? What's his big problem? He got a crocodile clamped onto his leg. For 1 second? No. Long, long time. This is celestial world. Long time. But what happened? How did he develop prem? How did he develop bhav? Without a guru. We just said that the bhav resides in the Nitya Siddha's heart. How did that happen? If you actually read about that, Shri Vishnu Bhagwan himself taught Gajendra in his past life as Indradumna Maharaj, King Indradumna, taught him prayers. And that manifested in this life in bhav. It took time because, Gajendra, the king of senses, it takes time. Therefore, accepting a guru is not an option. Accepting Srila Prabhupada as a pure devotee in our life is not an option because he or she is an agency of transfer of bhav into our heart. Our guru is supposed to be the Nitya Siddha devotee. He's supposed to be that. And he or she will be that to the extent they're connected to our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada. And to the extent they're not, then they cannot be, by definition. So they are the agency of transfer. So taking initiation means I'm trying to engage my kriti sadhe, my senses in the service of devotees and the Lord. Why? So I can receive the kripa of the Nitya Siddha, so I can develop the proper conception of what is bhakti, the proper intellectual conviction, the proper emotional connection with Bhagavan. So that's how you go from external engagement, seva or bhajan, through buddhi, through bhav. Bhav is the perfection of our life. As I tell my patients, if you're alive, 5 years, you've hit the home run. But this is not just 5 years, it's forever. How is this done? So, Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, which is a beautiful chapter because it addresses questions of how the Asuras could receive moksha from Bhagavan. So, the explanation given is, my dear King Yudhishthira, the gopis by their lusty desires, their desires are not lusty in the material sense. Kamsa by his fear, Shishupal and other kings by envy, the Yadus by their familial relationship with Krishna, and you, the Pandavas, by your great affection for Krishna, and we, the general devotees, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna. So there, in the next verse says, therefore, one should somehow think of Krishna by one of the favorable methods. One should fix the mind on Krishna. What is this called? Bhav. Fixing the mind also stands for fixing all other senses. Okay. So there's Vedi sadhana bhakti, where you're doing sadhana because of injunctions or rules. Srila Prabhupada says you should chant 16 rounds. Srila Prabhupada says morning you should read Bhagavatam, evening you should read or hear Bhagavad Gita, etc. So I don't have natural inclination, but I'm doing because of my fidelity or affection for that person who gave me something that I've not received before. But eventually, I will come to the stage where it's not, like Srila Prabhupada calls it, chanting the Mahamantra is not a material imposition upon the mind, right? He says that. He says, like crying of the child for the mother. It's natural. Nobody has to teach the child to cry for the mother automatically. The Acharyas give this example. How many of you have children? You don't have kids? I'm joking. So when the Matajis went to the hospital, the doctor delivered the baby, and the baby was, at least in the US, put in a nursery, right? And the nurse took care of the baby. And then later on, the nurse brought the baby to you, and you took care of the baby. So externally looks the same. Nurse is following some rules and guidelines. Are you following rules and guidelines when you're taking care of your child? It is an expression of your love. So sadhana bhakti is following, Vedic sadhana bhakti is following rules and regulations in order to develop that expression of our love. Bhava bhakti is my love for Bhagwan, our love, his love for Bhagwan will get manifested in how he sings for Bhagwan's pleasure. His love for Bhagwan will get manifested by how he cleans the temple of the, I was going to say temple of the heart, which it is, but temple of the deity. His love for Bhagwan will get manifested by how he serves prasadam to the homeless people in a mood of compassion. So we should be externally engaged and internally absorbed. Jai Prabhupada ki jai. Questions, comments? Was it too technical? Yes, Mataji.
Just a beautiful class, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful class.
Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
For 40 years, I chanted mechanically. For 40 years, I chanted as background for my mind to imagine and dream whatever it wanted.
Right.
And one day, by Krishna's mercy, I prayed to Prabhupada for some help. And I started developing a determination to try and hear.
Yes. Yeah, you're trying to go from the physical to the emotional connection. After all, why do we do this? Because we want happiness in our life. That'll be a topic for another lecture. Okay. Any other questions or comments? You can, corrections? Additions? Krishna Krishna Prabhu? Any additions? No? You do it so nicely. Okay, we'll chant for Lord Krishna's pleasure. Connect emotionally. You're going to hear with your ear and you're going to sing with your mouth, but connect emotionally and intellectually with what you're doing. I'm trying to reach across the infinite space and unapproachable time to the spiritual world by my spirit, by my material senses. I need mercy. I need that Nitya Sada devotee. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brahman Mari Prabhu ki jai. Hari Bol. All glory Srila Prabhupada. Please put the mats away. Rahul Prabhu, are you feeling better? You look stronger. I'm glad that things are better now. Oh, sorry. You were able to move around okay?
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
Anirudh? Anirudh singing? Yes, of course. Please sing. Sing for the pleasure of Bhagwan. Niru.
Anirudh.
He said, Prabhu taught us.
He took both out.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Shrimate Danta Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Kali Yuga Pavana Gaura Hari Nandana Gaura Hari Jaya Kali Yuga Pavana Gaura Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hari Sacinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON and PBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Namacharya Srila Das Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र धाम की जय, गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय, सामवेद भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
That's okay. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की। हरि बोल। आदि की जय।
Come here. Bring the mardana with you. Bring the mardana. So how is this? Stand up. Stand up. Okay, I'll hold it. Come stand next to me. Stand next to me. Stand next to that. Come stand next to that. So this person played this. Haribo. Did you like it? Did you practice? You did that. Practice makes perfect. But you're doing really nicely. You're inspiring so many people with your acting and your understanding of Krishna pastimes. Do you like doing this? Yes, very nice. Thank you. Ovya ki jai. So there are so many youth here, all these. I'm looking at Jayadev, and where's Rasraj? Rasraj, when are you going to start playing Mardanga? You can't just sit along in your dad's classes. You got to actually do something. Are you ready? Next week? 2 weeks, okay? Okay. He's a deep thinker. He's not committing quite yet. Well, thank you very much. It's really wonderful to see the next generation doing, because, that was why Srila Prabhupada came. That's why Acharyas come, to allow for bhakti to flow through the ages. So we need the next generation to be doing this. And I see so many talented youth. Here's a devotee who likes to embroider for the deities. It's like, where do you see that in the normal world? So that's wonderful. Okay, so announcements and upcoming events. Hare Krishna Vedanta Prabhu. So, first-time visitor, and is there any first-time visitors here? Anyone here for the very first time? Okay. Can you introduce us to, tell us what's your name, where are you from, what brought you here?
My name is Krishna, and
okay.
I come from Seattle, Washington. I'm here with my wife, Radha Devavi,
Hare Krishna.
we live very close to the ISKCON temple in Seattle.
Nice.
She's very engaged, more than me, and I do whatever service I can.
That's right. That's nice. So here's Krishna Prabhu, and there's Radha Mataji. Shri Radha Krishna ki jai. Thank you. Are you just visiting Oregon?
Yeah, our daughter lives in downtown.
Okay. Encourage your daughter, if she wants, that she can come here. There's easy train connection. It's like stops like 10, 15 minutes away from here, and you can just walk here. Okay. So is anybody else for the very first time? Yes, Prabhu. Gujarat. You're here for working on behalf of your company? And what's your name? I couldn't hear. What was it? Anil, Prabhu? Okay. And how long are you here? 1 month. Are you here with family or? And your colleagues? Where are your colleagues? Hare Krishna. And so you're here for working for a company for 1 month, and you're from Ahmedabad. Well, you can meet Madhav Ganga Prabhu. He's originally from Gujarat, but how long ago did you leave Gujarat? Long time ago, right? 98? Okay. So he left Gujarat in 98 and everything fell apart. He's a wonderful devotee. And his daughter is here and wife are here. So please, sometimes that's a connection, coming from the same place. We actually all come from the same place, but at least during this lifetime. Anybody else? First time? I'm sorry. Pankaj. Maharashtra. I see. So you're here on job related? Are you? 50? 2, 3 years. 50, okay. Yes, I seem to recognize your face, but thank you for coming again. So you're here till end of April? Not much longer. Then back to India. Okay. Anyone here for the very first time also? Anyone else? Okay. So let's welcome the devotees that are first-time visitors with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay. So next. Birthdays and anniversaries. So I've been told that my announcements are too long. Birthdays and anniversaries, we can just have Parnika. When? Tomorrow? Oh, nice. Srinivas Prabhu's birthday tomorrow. Nice. And Kirtida? All right, wedding anniversary. Is Prabhu here? How many years, Prabhu? 17. He had no doubt. He sounded so sure. Congratulations. And Rakan Prabhu? Yes. Is he taking a nap? Wonderful family. Thank you. You're giving him Krishna. So that's the best gift. Sarvashakti Mataji? Tomorrow's Hasini's and Prachalta Mataji's birthday. Where's Prachalta? Ah, there she is. Smiling. Do the boys have something special planned for you, Mataji? Oh. Bring them along, if you can. And Hasini, what's going to happen tomorrow? Nothing much. Where are your parents? Nothing much planned for her for tomorrow? She has her own plan. Man proposes, Krishna disposes. Huh? Okay. Anyone else birthday? Oh, sorry, Srira. This Thursday on the 25th? Is Mataji here? Okay. Okay. You sound so mature. I remember when you were just a little baby. Very different from your brother, but very, both your brother and you both turning out to be like very, very wonderful children. Congratulations to your wonderful father. Where's Prabhu? Oh, Hare Krishna. What's planned for Mataji's birthday? Hopefully she'll feel better. Anything special? The answer is I'm going to come to the temple and I'll receive the Lord's blessings. If that's special. But congratulations, convey our regards to her. Anyone else? Okay. So let's appreciate these devotees' birthday and anniversaries with a loud Hari Bol. Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, next. So, next immediate festival. Can you just leave that, Dhruva? Maybe she can just for a minute. You can do it when the youth are doing the kirtan, okay? That's nice. So, upcoming festival is May 10th is the appearance of Sri Nrsingadev Bhagwan. So, very, very important Parents' Day for the devotees. I remember reading Srila Prabhupada's disciples found a picture of or painting of Nrsinga Bhagwan and Hiranyakashipu And it seemed like the Western devotees were kind of like shocked. There's somebody that's lion-like ripping apart somebody who's human-like. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, this is wonderful. It's a transcendental pastime. So you can hear more about Nrsingadev on that day. And so we have see his, and I'm sure he will this opportunity to sponsor flowers and Abhishek of Sri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev, you know, the deities right here. Do you know who in Mayapur Dham, they have several deities, right? What do they have? What are the deities they have? Radha Madhav, Shishi Radha Madhav, Panch Tattva, and? Yes, Ugra Nrsimhadev. So which altar do you think is the most popular in Mayapur? Nrsingadev. That's what all the people who went to Deity Worship Academy tell me when they come back. Why? Because devotees are seeking the blessings of Bhagwan, protection, you know, sort of thing. Although the protection of Mahaprabhu is even more powerful, equally powerful. So that opportunity exists for flowers and Abhishek sponsorship if you so desire. Those of you that have birthdays or anniversaries, consider doing that. You receive blessing of Nrsimha Bhagwan. It's an offering to the Lord. Okay, next. So today was Rakhan Prabhu Ruby Mataji from Mivan's first year birthday. I still remember seeing him in the airport in Delhi last fall. So little, getting big, huh? In your loving embrace. Wonderful. And Vasudevan Prabhu Rama Mataji and Hasni's birthday. So I forgot to ask you, how old are you going to become? 16. Wonderful. You're very mature. Hare Krishna. And then flowers by Sweta Mataji. I don't see Sweta Mataji today. Is Sweta Mataji here today? Yeah, so I don't see her, but it's on the occasion of, I guess her mother's, Her Grace Sundari Mataji, is that correct? Okay. Okay, so, and then the subsequent weeks you can read. There's availability for flower sponsorship in the upcoming month of May. Okay, next. So we have the visit of a very esteemed and senior devotee couple from Chaupati, Mumbai. So it's His Grace Dwarkadish Prabhu and Vishaka Priya Mataji. And there, he has a position of great responsibility. He oversees the Department of Medicine at the Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mumbai, which is very important for both the devotees and the community there. And Vishaka Priya Mataji is counseling the youth girls and guiding them also, equally important. And so they took time out of their busy schedule because of the kindness of Madhav Gauranga Prabhu. And so I don't understand what HGDP, HGVPP-RSP mean, but I think it's saying please RSVP. That event, I announced it last week. If you, they're just wonderful. Their spiritual master and the community in general. Very kind devotees. I think last year program was at your house, Narottam Vilas Prabhu's house, and was it Anita Mataji's? Right, I mentioned, Mansi Ganga Mataji's home as well. So wasn't that wonderful when they came? Really wonderfully. The temple will host here for a program, and it's going to be starting at 6:30 p.m., right, Madhav Gauranga Prabhu? It's Ekadashi day, so please come. If any of you have a desire to host Prabhuji and Mataji, then let us know. But tentatively it will be at the temple. And then next day we'll be at Bethany at Anita Mataji and Vivek Prabhu's home as well. We just had a program at your home. Summer is here. Hare Krishna. So that's also at 6:30, Prabhu? Okay, okay. So please kindly RSVP, at least to Vivek Prabhu and Anita Mataji's home, because they're also taking care of a child and they have a full-time job, so it helps them to prepare. So okay, that's that. I think multiple WhatsApp messages have gone out about this event. So I think most of you are aware. If you have more questions, can you raise your hand, Prabhu? Madhugana Prabhu, just see him, okay? Next. Free Bhagavad Gitas. So, free, yeah. So there's some paper bound, and then there's some hard bounds. A devotee donated them. If you desire to take one home, please do so and read in depth. It's your Jivan Sati. It's what's going to accompany us lifetime after lifetime. So please take. There's no cost. Some devotee has donated, okay? If you need guidance, seek one of the devotees to help. Okay, next. Srila Prabhupada's Leela. Sripada Mataji, are you ready? She's moving slow right now. You okay? Do you want to go there? Do you want to sit down? No. Okay.
Hare Krishna. I want to say Hare Krishna and welcome to my god brother and god sister Prabhanu Prabhu and his wife Panchajani. They're here visiting their daughter and family. I think they moved to Panchajani. Where are you living now? Okay. Ventura. Is it Ventura? Oh, Vancouver.
But you live in Medford, right? No, Rosebud.
Yeah. Okay. So this is from Swarup, my god brother, who I quote from a lot. He's near and dear to me. This is from a morning walk in February of 1975 in Caracas. And this is Srila Prabhupada speaking on the morning walk. Instead of contemplating what will happen to this world, you've got a short duration of life, say 50, 60 years. And actually, for Prabhupada disciples, tops 20 years. You chant Hare Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Don't consider what will happen to this world. The nature will take care of it. You don't puzzle your brain with these thoughts. You utilize whatever time you have got in your possession and go back to home, back to Godhead. You cannot check it. Best thing is that you mold your life and go back to home, back to Godhead. Oil in your own machine. Instead of thinking what will happen, they will happen. Because people will go on with their rascal civilization. Natural consequences will be there. You better take advantage of whatever time you have got and become fully Krishna conscious and go back to home. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other announcements? Prasadam prayers. Rasraj, you know Prasadam prayers? You like Prasadam, I know that. Okay. Who would like to chant Prasadam prayers?
Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Sarva Punyavitam Rajan Vishwasane Vajayate Sharira Vityaja Jorandi Ata Heka Jive Fele Vishai Sagare Dharmate Jibayati Lovo Maisu Dharmati Take Jeta Katina Samsare Krishna Bharadaya Mai Tari Bare Jibajai Sa Prasadana Dilo Bhai Shayanam Vitya Paush राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे